This is the live podcast with Manuel, living in full expression. It's good to have you here, Mr. Yakubu. It's an amazing time to get to have to speak with you. Before we really get started, I just wanted to just give us like a brief introduction about who you are and how it is we can look at you and say, this is Yakubu.
I always say that my name is Yakubu and I'm from Nigeria. I'm somebody that loves adventure. I love challenges. I'm somebody that, I'm just a normal human being that I strive to be better, fail sometimes, arise sometimes, a human being that loves to, set goals and achieve. Every now and then, you discover that every year, every year I try to set goals to achieve. Every 5 years I evaluate and see how far I've gone and all that, because I know that life is short. In no time you discover that you want to look back and say, okay, what did you have to limit yourself? Try to, and you ventured into somewhere that you had fear, but eventually you went there and you failed and but found your way back to the track and all that, and you eventually got to the end of that part and all that. Generally, that has been my life, and it's been who I am. It's what I see, and also one thing that is that I try to be consistent is it's faith in who I am, because I usually look back and see, sometimes we get lost. Truly, we get lost. The right ways in life will get you missing. You sometimes look for stuff you don't find it. Just be consistent in what you think is true about purpose in life. Sincerely, that's what has driven me, and in general, this is who I am. Just a normal human being that you see everything. It's me here, it's me out there, and all that.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so Yakubu, let me ask you, you say you're from Nigeria and here you are in the UK. What informed your decision to make this movement from Nigeria to the UK? And is it part of your 5-year plan that made you come here? And what was actually the push that made you to find yourself in UK?
Oh, okay. I've been, wanting to, do my postgraduate for quite some time now, and I've had admissions back in 2020 in Sweden, and due to some financial challenges, I wasn't able to meet up, and then I got one in about close to in 2019, yeah, 2020, just because I was about going for it again in the same Sweden. COVID-19 came in and the lockdown came in and all that. And things generally became slow, after the COVID-19. However, I've periodically visited the UK for work, holiday, once in a while and all that. And so one of the things that also instigated me of coming to the UK is that their postgraduate is 1 year. And, I just know that, you know, this 1 year, it looks like a crash program, but, I wanted, and of course, UK is a top rank, wherever it is that you want to do, when you have the skills that is required. And so where it helps you to compete and all that. And also I wanted to come out of my environment to be able to now see how I can, move ahead in the next 10 years. One of the things that I require is that in my career, I usually see that, okay, this period of time, I usually take time to step aside and say, okay, coming to the UK will expose me. After this, I'll probably get job experience, just as normal as that. Just a job experience after schooling, you need to get more job experience, see what it is to work like you can see the skills that is required, so I can be able to see that, okay, in the consultancy, the services that I want to, firm that I want to set up, building something out of my experience and my journey in my career. Maybe this would help me and all that. So basically, of course, in my visit here and all that, I've also gotten motivation from family and friends that have been here at school in the UK also to, say that yes, yeah, there are good universities and also be careful with university and all that. And Bangor University was one that, after checking the course that I wanted, they
Wow, that's a long story. So you want to tell me what it was like for you to move from Nigeria to this place? Can you give me like your first experience? And why did you decide to come to Wales? What exactly interested you about Wales and Bangor in particular that made you to, amongst all places, you chose Wales, and not just Wales, you chose Bangor. So what did you consider and why did you decide to be in
okay,
Wales and Bangor?
yeah, I visited Wales because I have a sister that I've been to Bangor University. Obviously, I've been well informed about Bangor University, and also I had wanted to have an environmental background, but wanted to do an MBA, and so Bangor University had a postgraduate course called Environmental and Business Management. So it was just something that I needed. Is a mixture of School of Environmental and Natural Sciences and Business School. And so it's just seeing how you could, use your environmental, you know, um, yeah, experiences that you have, what we call it, you've had over the years, and see how you could put it into, your everyday business and all that, something that I want to do. So in here, it has helped me taking that decision. It has helped me learn strategy. It has helped me learn how to, engage with people. Get to know how organization can be set up. It has helped me know how, you know, um, there are areas in the space of the environment you can venture. It has helped me certification, global, what we call it, professional bodies. It was quite a good decision.
Lovely. Lovely. So when you heard all the stories about Wales and then Bangor, and you came into Bangor finally, so those stories you heard, what were your experiences? Hands on now, not much by stories, but you're now here experiencing it. What is it like for you?
Um, first of all, sincerely, Bangor has lovely scenery. It's something that, I've lived in the city, whereby all you see is, buildings, people commuting, every now and then all that. While by here in Bangor, you could see the hills, you could see, the, plant cover, woodlands, you understand, and you could see the sea. It's quite beautiful. And one of the things is that Bangor is somewhere that I could walk everywhere. I used to drive every day to work every now and then and all that due to, where I have to be every day and all that. But here I could walk. It's healthy for me. It's exercise for me and all that. I could visit friends, I could go to the high street. I could even move down to the, areas whereby I just walk around. I love to walk because I hardly do this back home and all that. So Bangor has been the city where it's multicultural as well. The weather is challenging. It's quite different from where I'm coming from. That's one of my major challenges. It's windy, and then so yeah, the scenery, you know, lands beautiful. Anytime I open my window, I could see the hills and all that. The sky touching the hills. So it's quite beautiful.
Amazing. That's lovely. That's lovely. So coming to a different environment, different culture, what was the first culture shock you got? Coming from a place like Africa and then coming to England and in Wales in particular, what was the culture shock you experienced or culture difference, or how were you able now to adapt to this difference in culture?
Will I say, if I say culture shock, I've not been shocked. The only thing is that, back in Nigeria, you could just see somebody on the street and just say hello and, people generally just interact and say hello and here, but here everybody's on his own, and all that. And I'm quite somebody that loves to interact. So based on that, you need to be careful on intruding on somebody's space. That has been like a drawback for me, being careful here and all that. But aside that, I was able to make just very good friends, chat every day as if I'm back home. We talk about things, we talk about, weather every day. We talk about, challenges, talk about finances, how you could thrive in the UK, what is like back in Nigeria, weather, and all that. Every now and then that challenges us and what is different from them, all that. And we could just see that, the truth about it is that we're all people, same people, just in just different locations. You understand? There are quite a few. There are people that are quite friendly, and Bangor is quite a multicultural city, because I think probably because Bangor University has played an instrumental, what do you call it, part in being it multicultural. So there is an influx of international friends here and then all that. There are Indians here, there are, Americans here, Canadians here. So we all, it's an environment whereby we meet, you know, some people, I used to live in -5 degrees, -10 degrees. I'm used to living around in about, 30, 35 degrees and so on.
Amazing. So talking about the multicultural thing about Bangor, having to be been here, what can you say has influenced the way you think and interact around here? Now that you have different people, like you rightly said, Bangor just like is an intercept of different people from different places coming to study. So what has the influence of this culture made you? How has it influenced the way you see the world generally and then Wales in particular?
One of the um, background I have is that Nigeria is also a diverse country with people with different cultures here and then all that. And fortunately for me, I have schooled and I have also worked in my career. I've worked with so many people that are from different ethnic backgrounds here and then all that. So it has made me be a student of learning about people, culture, and backgrounds. So coming down here, when I meet anybody, for me, it's also part of my learning. So, what do you call it? Sometimes when you see things in social media and all that, you can judge people. What I try to do is I try to learn from people. Why do you, why do you prefer to, what do you call it? For example, why do you prefer to work at home instead of just being among people? Some people prefer privacy and all that. Why? So by the time I learn, I try to evaluate myself. When I find myself in such situations, it won't be all quite challenging for me. I begin to not feel like, okay, I've learned about the discussion, and so I'm a student of learning from people's backgrounds. I've learned a lot about Indians, where they're coming from, how geographically different. When you look at, you know, um, what we see or what we read about is different from when you meet somebody that live those narratives, and then you are engaging with that person, and then you can ask questions and the person will reply to you, and then all that, and then you can also um you know um you know bring forth your initial perspective, and the person you will now balance it, know ideally what this one is, what these people are, why do they do things like that, and why do they live, why do they have this culture and all that. So just it has influenced me to, just interact with people, as they are, asking questions. Sometimes I just go to read and conversation can just spark up. And it's amazing how you hear, people are so different and wonderful around the world. So you could just see just me coming and over here. It has helped me connect to people around the world free of charge. So, and learning from, who they are and what their background is.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so Yakubu, could you tell me having been in Bangor University as a student in your study area, how has it also been? What can you say about your student experience now, in particular as a student? What would you say about being a student in Bangor University?
And what I can say is that I have seriously learned in different aspects. For example, when I can tell you that I have just studying in Bangor has helped me, you know, build skills. Naturally, I wouldn't even do, have, because of course, probably has made me different. I can now look at job roles, and they say they're looking for this skill, and then I said, yes, I have this skill. It has helped me open my eyes. One of the challenges that we have back home is energy. Okay, I have come here to Bangor and I've seen that truly we have all that it takes to be able to have enough energy back home. And being here, just being among friends, it has helped me to see that, okay, for example, I want to set up a business, I want to network or partnership everywhere, because I've been with students here for, you know, 7, 8 months. People know you. People can say that, oh, I want partnership in Canada. I know who to call. Somebody says, okay, I know Yakubu. And say, okay, let us have a meeting, even virtually. You can still deal just virtually because you know each other and all that. And then, also Bangor University has given me, study support. When I came in here, I knew that the way I have studied over time was quite different. So I just booked for what do you call it, an appointment in the library, and I asked them that, okay, I needed study support because they have all those support system here and then all that. And I was taught how to use the library. I was taught how to reference. I was know how to access, journals, peer-reviewed journals, that are, from seasoned, professional scientists and then all that. And, I've also grown to the extent that I'm able also learning, teaching people and helping people and posting people on how to get those facilities, because when I came in here, I tried to maximize all the available resources because you always have short time here and then all that. So I inquire here and then all that, and it's been helpful so far. So I've really, benefited being here.
Wow, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot, Yakubu. You've really, really had a great time here. And that's one good thing about especially traveling and then having to be in a place like Bangor and Wales where you have people from different culture and you're able to interact with them. So going back to your student life, you just won the position as the student union president, and that's a huge one. And I must say a big congratulations to you. That's a big one. So you want to tell me first off what made you to put yourself out there to even consider in the first place vying for such position, being that first you are an immigrant and secondly seeing that you are black, like they would say. But so what's actually pushed you and motivated you to to go for this position?
First of all, us that come from places like Nigeria, we don't know we're black till we're here. I actually don't even know I'm black. I'm just a normal human being. First of all. And so sincerely, I just wanted to serve. You understand? I'm somebody that I've always been taught on how to serve. I've learned how to serve. Okay. And when I came in, first of all, I became the class rep of my program, for that, just be able to help people settle in, interface with the lecturer, trying to see how, if the students have any challenges, where they can, what do you call it, so not don't, probably are shy or don't know how to interface with the lecturer. I can help interface based on their programs, the academics and the rest. That was the first thing. And then from there, and I discovered that even as a class rep, we have a body of class reps where we come together and we try to now bring all the challenges that students are facing pertaining to academics, and we deliberate and see how we could find solutions, find how students can easily, have feedbacks or probably help them express themselves better, especially when they are coming from, because we come from different backgrounds. Then there I now went to be part of the diversity, equity and inclusive committee where lecturers and students of my school of environmental and natural science deliberate on how for students, be inclusive from different backgrounds, probably your culture, your race, whatever it is, something that shouldn't be try to eliminate all those barriers for students to feel inclusive, included in the system. And then from there, just interacting with lecturers, I became part of the student-led employability working group, in School of Natural and Environmental and Natural Sciences, and then we've done amazing things. We're trying to see how students can build their skills, how students can, their employability, we've run programs in and all that. And you can see that they're just there to serve. I just wanted to, give, I know that I had so much to, it's been challenging. I'm not saying it's been convenient, but I just know that being there, and all that. And all of a sudden, from all this, just came the issue of elections. And I asked myself, I said, this is a platform whereby, when the student union elections came up, this is a platform whereby I could do more.
Yeah.
That's just what I had myself. So having those backgrounds, I say that, yeah, this is something that I could do more. And then I've learned being part of those small groups have helped me have an understanding of how, students, psyche or orientation is based on their academics, their social life, their wanting to be inclusive, you understand, and how, interacting with lecturers, how it is, and all that. And student union elections came and I said, okay, so why not? This is a platform whereby you could do more.
Yeah.
And that's why I just entered the race.
Wow. And then you won.
Mm.
Fantastic. Okay, so you made it look so easy, but I know for certain you faced loads and loads of challenges. I know you faced loads of challenges. So would you want to give me an idea of what kind of challenges you faced in this race and how you were able to navigate them and you're able to harmonize everyone to consider you a potential leader or president in this university? Challenges do you face actually that, and how did you overcome such challenges?
So it's not that, of course, everybody had potentials. It's not that I knew that everybody could give it a shot. Due to my interaction, when I engaged with people, consulted with my friends here, classmates here, and all that, and I also told them that where I wanted to run, everybody, some of them, even before I didn't say that, Yakubu, you can do it. I will support you. The first person I even spoke to about said that, that I have this vote. The first person I spoke to said he had the vote. So I had not even concluded the, thinking of engaging that I have this, but I just was considering this, and I said, you have my vote and all that. And I said, wow, I didn't know that, it could be that encouraging. All that. And so I kept on, first of all, my classmates, people close to me, and then as much as possible, expanded, the small groups anywhere I find myself, some people, my classmates, engaging them here and then all that. And people said, why not? Because I know that in politics you must consult and then you look at your strength and your weaknesses so that you can promote your strength and then work on the weaknesses and all that. And so most of the, what do you call it, just the challenges I faced is that they had strict regulation guidelines. Number one, I know that politics back home it's so money oriented. Here you have a strict budget and you must prove it. Very, in fact, minimal budget and you must prove it. That is one. You have just about, I think 8 days or 9 days of, what do you call it? Yeah, just about 8 days or 9 days of campaigning that that you have. You cannot engage in social media within before that period of time, no matter how much you think you know. So all you can do is to be able to now engage, and tell people This is why you want to run gradually. You could do it on a one-on-one basis. So you can imagine that since you can, 3 weeks prior to that election, all you could do is to be able to now say, okay, I'm interested in this, I want to run in this, and then all that. Some people don't even, what do you call it? They don't even mind their attention, they even go to politics, and then you're trying to waste their time. You understand? And one of the challenges also, that period of time, I had so much deadlines to catch up. I had so much academic work, because I'm a postgraduate student. Interaction with undergraduate students, which constitute most of the students' body, is through the student rep, because we meet at what we call it, and of course, sometimes you just meet one or two. Build relationship, rapport with people that I meet that, casually. Probably we went for a library, or probably, trying to get a drink somewhere, and I just spark a conversation, and I discover your undergrad. My knowing undergrad was quite limited, but everything has a start, and I decided to now structure, strategize on how I can build on that small number of people I want, and so that it can grow and all that. And so when the elections came in, you know, I'll go for my lectures, I'll do my study, I'll try and see how I could book an appointment, and I'll try to see how I can speak, get a slot in lectures through lecturers, where I can speak to students based on what I'm running for and all that, and ensure that I get into cases where I can engage with students. And there are strict regulations whereby, you cannot go to library where students are. For example, you want to talk to somebody, you are intruding on somebody. So you are working with guidelines, working with your academics, try to strategize, moving from one place to another. You must crisscross. Also reach out to people and say, okay, have you reached out to your friends? Tell them here, and all that. I couldn't do that till that 1 week. I couldn't send out my manifesto, but at least, so you can imagine that if I have to do one-on-one engagement with people, how long it's going to take. You have over 10,000 in Bangor University. Some of them are living off campus, not in student accommodation. And every now and then, I began during that period of week, I was going to student accommodation, just standing in the corner, engaging with people here and there, or the one-on-one. Some of them will tell them, I don't know what's happening. You will now break it, what the election is all about and all that. So,
That's a whole lot. You see why I said you made it quite easy when you talked about it. But Yakubu, sincerely, the process looks really, 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 really streamlined and guided, right? And I can only imagine what it took you, especially having to talk to people and be able to converse for their vote. And one thing I wanted to say is I think you started early by getting involved because you were showing up for people, and then people began to see you as somebody who can be there for them. So I think that's a takeaway for me with what you did. From what I've learned from what you did is showing up for people. The moment you show up for people, the people will see that you're not just about yourself, but you're also about them. So I think that was what, for me, I think that was what helped your journey, because from all the process you went through, showing up for people, being there for people, when the opportunity came, it was easy for you to sell yourself. In fact, you really started selling yourself before the time. So talking about lessons learned, now you won this, you went through this, and you have come out to become the president. What lessons did you learn? What life lessons can you share from all that you've experienced in this process and imagine as a winner? So what lessons would you want to share with us today?
I think this is that, anywhere you find yourself, there is, don't be in a place whereby you want to receive. And um, as much as possible, I try to, um, show empathy. Sometimes can come in, you really don't know what to do, culture shift and all that. Just making them settle in the academy. Some of the students, some of them came in, while lectures have moved on. They didn't come in, at the start of it. So we've had more, um, orientation, more interaction with the lecturers, and we are picking up. So just letting them be here, setting in, showing them, where to get help, some posting them, all that. So you could see that you never know how much impact you're making on somebody. And you never know when you will come back and say that, okay, yes, I'm running for this and I need your support. I didn't know that there was even anything called elections coming up while doing all this. So the way those people went out and was campaigning for me, it don't wait till when you feel as if you need something, then you begin to give. Every day when you wake up and you have opportunity to give, opportunity to listen to somebody, that's also giving your time. Or when you have opportunity to probably share a moment or to share a challenge in your academics, to say, okay, let us form a study group, okay, organizing people and trying to see how, how you could get solutions to and then all that. It goes a long way. You understand? Sometimes it will come back to you as you are looking for where to get a particular thing and somebody say, okay, I know. And somebody can go out of his way to be of help to you and all that. And truly, because some place like UK is quite different. People, more or less work in their circle. So you wouldn't know, and it is information and network that will help you, access things that are beyond even your reach. For example, I never thought coming to the UK that I would be the student union president. For example, I do not even what kind of doors this will open. I just know that I have some responsibilities going forward. That's all I think of, the responsibilities of this office, how I can, ensure that the challenges that students are facing, I'm able to find solution and mitigate or probably create a platform whereby we can discuss, because I have a focus of how we can live in a community. You and I know how community is. When there is one problem, it is not just one person's problem, it is a community problem, and we solve it. So I want to bring a platform whereby students will have transparent conversation and be able to now see how we can bring out solutions and all that. I'm not saying that I have the solutions. I'm saying that I'll work hard to be able to ensure that I put students together so that the best solution comes out. So the lessons I've had is that the life of service can open doors for you. The life of service can open doors for you, can give you opportunity whereby you never thought it's possible. And I think this was how, in the short form, because if I was now quiet and reserved here and then all that, but for the fact that I needed to break that circle and introduce myself and begin to now saying that time would have been lapsed for me to be able to now say that, okay, I want to run for president or I have intentions for running for office. But because I've already broken that ice long before, when the election came, it was easy for me to ride on that platform that was already exposed to, whereby, I've already engaged with people here and there. A life of service, anywhere you find yourself, life of just giving your time and helping others. So it's good.
Wow, that's quite deep. That's quite deep, Yakubu. That's really deep. And I can see the way you talk about it is so passionate that it's coming from your heart, really. So talking about life of service, now that you're here, you've mentioned part of it. So what should students look out for? Bangor University student, now that your president is now on seat, like you said, this is now giving you opportunity to do more. What should your students or students generally in Bangor University look forward from you? You have mentioned part of it, working hard to make sure that there's a community and all that. What exactly would they look out for to say, because Yakubu is our president, this is what we should expect, or this is what, because I know a lot of responsibility, a lot of things, you'll be looked up to for a lot of things. So what words or what things should students in Bangor University look up for?
First of all, like I said, I want to be able to create like a platform whereby students come together and then interact, um, you know, periodically on issues, parents, what the student is all about, because I want to be as transparent as possible. I want to be as transparent as possible so that we can be able to now, um, what do you call it, cross issues that concerns them. Like I said, I want to build a community because, And from where I'm coming from, community come together and discuss the issues. You know how we come, within the square and you understand. So there should be a town, like a town hall meeting. I want to ensure that periodically students here at UVS, they've been part of this administration while I'm in office. You understand? And I want you to be able to be a good negotiator, whereby students and the management come together and see how we can work, because Bangor University is going through so much challenges going forward, not just Bangor University and but the universities around the UK, because of immigration policies. Universities don't get funding as they used to have, so it's going to be a challenging year going forward, and so it's going to affect our everyday activities as students. So I understand that, and so um, and my belief is that anytime you find yourself in a period of, of, of challenge or crisis, is an opportunity for you to grow. And, impacts are made during this period of time. You can make so much impact because, um, anybody can look like a superhero when things are good. You understand? But it takes challenges, to make somebody to leave a lasting impression on a system. And so I believe that it's going to be challenging. So first of all, I want to create a platform whereby we can bring together, because I believe that the body of students has so much wealth of solutions, of ideas that can help them going forward and all that. And then, I want to be able to also create, we're living in a community, the Welsh community, and it's instrumental to how everybody, it's the Welsh community is a whole for this institution. And so they are integral part of what you call integral part of our livelihood as students. And so in the Bangor University we have societies here and then all that. We can do more to impact the community around, volunteering, you understand, and all that. We can even help local businesses like that. I'm also looking at how I can incorporate some, businesses around Bangor, big banks and all that, to be able to see how we could interact and partner in this challenging time. Because if you look at it, Bangor University has been around for over 140 years. And so, as a student body, we have supplied labor for these businesses. We have supplied, we have patronized them. We're the people that go there to buy our food, our clothes, our gadgets, and all that. And so, as much as possible, we try ensure that there is partnership and all that, because it's quite a, a broad thing to say, but I would take, the steps to be able to incorporate students, because what can I do alone? The students must be as the community, so that we can be able to make that impact. So those are my areas of what we do, as well as how then, you know, either our friends or our siblings or our networks are in other universities. Bangor University, we must put it we must take it to a level whereby it's a beacon of excellence, a beacon of attraction of UK citizens and as well as international students as well. As much as possible, we will try as much as possible to put Bangor in that level together as a community, not just as a person.
That's huge. That's huge. So, and you have how many months to do all this?
You see, one of the things that it's amazing is that I just have 1 year, but the foundation can be laid. What is important is that I'm not saying that because I've not been in the office. My office starts going in July. So by the time I get in there, I'll be able to now study what's in place, aligns with these principles, build on it, adjust some and all that, and run. I'm not saying that we're starting from the scratch. We're starting from, at the level whereby the student union is, and building on that.
So looking at, you mentioned something very critical about how Bangor University and other universities have been able to provide workforce for other people. So what are your plans in making students job ready? Because you know that when it comes to getting a job as a fresher, it's quite challenging. So do you have any plans in place to say Bangor University students, as they are graduating, it's easier for them to be integrated into the mainstream workforce? Is there any plans like that you have?
Yeah, fortunately for me, I told you that I've been part of some groups in school, and so these are small groups especially that of the students, uh, what do you call it, environmental and natural science group, which is called the student-led employability and working group. Because of the events and the programs we have done to build skills for students. We can, anywhere you want to go right now, they say, okay, job experience. However, there are programs that I intend to put and be able to. That's why I talk about partnership. So what could be, you want to know what could be, what offer those big organizations can do for you when you now present that, okay, you need this. We also have a very rich alumni whereby we can also tap from, how they can be able to help us with this advice. So some of them have access to this big organization that can open doors. With my experience in the UK, most of the people love to be partnering with students to build, career and all that, because the thing about it is that whoever is graduating today will be the workforce that will be required in this organization. So just putting, partnering to help build this earlier on in their them being students could go a long way. So those are the kind of things that we would work and put in place and see how it goes.
I know if I keep asking, you have so much already inside of you. But the thing is, I will look forward to having you in office and then see you running with all this vision, and that God will grant you the wisdom and grace that you need. Just a few questions before we wrap up. Now you're here, I want you to just do like a little exercise for me. Looking back to your Yakubu at 19, Yakubu at 18, Yakubu at 17, with all that you've experienced so far, what advice would you give to Yakubu at 19, Yakubu at 17? What would you tell Yakubu at 18?
Well, continue to be adventurous. Continue to, be ambitious. Continue to be, you know, um, humble and be grateful for every opportunity. Because sometimes challenging times are corridors of lesson. So you also be grateful for those challenges. Those are low times. Be grateful because there are times that I wish that those kind of challenging times hadn't come, but they are also maybe part of who I am today. And so I would tell my younger self that be good for those times, be humble, and also be ambitious because um, when you're adventurous, it will push you to get to places that you are even afraid to get into because being in the UK, truly, leaving family and friends, living here, it's quite challenging. But to look as if when from here, let's say, now I'm student union president, it has built into me being ambitious. You understand? And so I would tell my younger self to be ambitious, adventurous, grateful, and also be humble. And also, of course, like I said, embrace the life of service to take you far.
Well, okay, so now you've spoken to your younger self. So let's look at Yakubu in 5 years, Yakubu in 3 to 5 years, 6 years. What would it be for you? I know you're a kind of person that pre-plan your years, pre-plan your life. So if I want to take you to the future right now, what would Yakubu be doing or be achieving with all that you've experienced now, with life and good health? What would it be for you in the next 5 to 10 years?
I would love by in the next 5-10 years to have established my consulting firm, and I want to be able to also use the friends and network I've built here to be able to now see how I can mitigate the energy deficiency and energy poverty in Nigeria because there are a lot of opportunities, within our means here that we could be able to help households and communities, energy. I want to also be a very good, an investor because I'm somebody that loves to invest all that. So as much as possible, I want to see in the next 10 years that I've done a lot of investment Also, I have also taken time to do some research, and also have achieved back my own PhD by then. So those are the few things I have in the next few years or the next year.
Okay, lastly, before we go, for somebody who's considering coming to Wales and coming to Bangor in particular, what would be your word to the person? What would you tell the person about Bangor? If I say paint a picture of Bangor and tell me to come to Bangor, what would it be like for you to make me come to Wales?
Bangor is a good city, being that it's multicultural, and that means that you could find somebody like you. You could find food that you are used to. You could find um you know an institution, in case you want to come to study in Bangor. You can find an institution that could that is good, that is that will give you top notch skills and all that. And I've been here and I have no regrets coming to Bangor. And so I would you know um, encourage somebody that is wanting to further his career to be in Bangor, somebody that wants a quiet city, you have a family, it's quite family friendly, and all that. So Bangor it's a city to be. I have no regrets.
That's fantastic. Okay, just your last word to somebody listening to you right now. What would be your last word? What would you want to say? Maybe talk to someone, talk to a student, talk to a parent. What is it in your mind you just want to talk about as your last word before we call it a day today?
I wouldn't say my last word, but challenges in life are build, are like resources for growth. So anytime you're going through loneliness, through lack of finance, we are going through maybe breakup or whatever it is that is a challenge to you, it's a rich resource for you to, learn from, because when you are down, you don't have any other direction than to go up. So any time you find yourself in a dry season that is not favorable, are just close to a season of abundance. And so sometimes those seasons requires you to build capacity to be able to receive what is coming before you and all that, because any blessing can build you up or destroy you. So anytime you're going through any challenge, you appreciate it and learn from it. And I think, yeah, that is what I have to say for now.
All right. Thank you so much, Yakubu. Thank you for being on this call with me today. And I must say that it has been an amazing time speaking with you, President-elect of Bangor University Student Union. That's awesome. And I want to say a big congratulations and I wish you all the best in your endeavor in your office as the president. And we pray that next time I'm going to get in touch with you again for you to share your journey again with me on how it has been being the president of this amazing university. And until then, I want to say thank you very much and I'll talk to you once again. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.